4th grade, and welcome to our reading skill for today, and happy Christmas week. Today we are going to be starting to learn about figurative language. Figurative language is things that authors and people use that says something different than what it means. Today we're going to look at a specific kind of figurative language called idioms. We'll be looking more at these when we come back in January. So what we'll be doing today is we're going to read a Christmas poem with idioms filled inside of it. And on the second page, we will be writing the meaning of those idioms. Let's go ahead and begin. It was Christmas Day, the 25th of December, and I knew right away it was one I'd remember. I was excited, but Grandma didn't give me a chance. Before she said, "Settle down! You've got ants in your pants!" I know I am the apple of her eye, but sometimes I'm really not sure why. My aunt was truly a fish out of water. By the way, she is my grandmother's daughter. Family gatherings seem to make her worry, and she always hopes they'll end in a hurry. My grandpa told funny stories, and I was all ears. He's told some great ones over the years. When he jokes, I can't even keep a straight face. He tells each story at the perfect place. My grandma shakes her head, you see. Grandpa's jokes aren't her cup of tea. My family sat around and chewed the fat. We always love a family chat. Grandma cooked a delicious meal. I think her cooking is ideal. Then she bakes cookies once in a blue moon. She couldn't take them out too soon. I ate a few and then some more. And then I heard my grandpa snore. He fell asleep right in his chair. My grandma gave him such a glare. I couldn't believe he had hit the hay. If we let him, he'd sleep all day. Grandma gave him a little poke. She thought it might be another joke. He woke up quickly and Grandma sighed with relief. He promised, "Next Christmas I'll turn over a new leaf." So some of these sentences in here, or some of these lines, is what we call one part of a poem, probably don't make sense to what they're saying. Like, "I've got ants. You've got ants in your pants." Do you think he actually had ants in his pants? No, that is called figurative language. It is something that has a different meaning than what it says. So let's look at some of this figurative language. The first one we are going to find is ants in your pants. So go back to the first page, and we're going to highlight ants in your pants. We're going to find all the figurative language in there. Now, if he was excited, but Grandma didn't give him a chance, before she said, "Settle down, you got ants in your pants." What do you think that means? That probably means he's really wiggly, right? So ants in your pants means that you are very excited. So let's go ahead and type that in. Or wiggly. Pause the video if you need to type that in. Now, some of these we are going to skip so you can answer on your own, but we'll do a lot of them together. Now let's find the idiom apple of her eye. Apple of her eye. Well, I see the all ears right there, an apple of her eye. Let's highlight that in the 1, 2, 3. That is the third verse. Apple of her eye. And we'll read through that again to see if we can find the real meaning of apple of her eye. It doesn't really mean that she has an apple in her eye. It means something else. That means it's figurative language and it's an idiom. I know I am the apple of her eye, but sometimes I'm really not sure why. So if sometimes he's like this, but sometimes he's not sure, apple of your eye means that you are someone that is loved, right? So maybe your mom thinks you are the apple of her eye. That is an idiom, figurative language. Means something different than what it says. So that's one who is loved. One who is loved. Type that out. Now I highlighted the ones that you will have to answer on your own. We will do 2 more together, and the other ones are optional. You can ask your parents or look up online what these mean, because some people use them when they are talking with their friends and some people don't. And some of them only certain generations use. So let's look at fish out of water. Fish out of water. My aunt was truly a fish out of water. That doesn't mean that his aunt is a fish and she's out of the water. Fish out of water means that they're not very comfortable where they are. So maybe you went to a party with your parents and you were the only kid there. You were a fish out of water. You were not where you normally felt comfortable. So fish out of water, go ahead and type this out with me, means that someone is uncomfortable. Type that out. Now you will have to find all ears and decide what that means. It doesn't mean that you have tons of ears. It has a different meaning. It has figurative language. Keep a straight face. That doesn't mean that you have a super straight face like a stick. It has a different meaning. And the last one we're going to do together is cup of tea. Now sometimes mean what it says. Oh. Let's find cup of tea. Right here. My grandma just shakes her head, you see? Grandpa's jokes aren't her cup of tea. So let's picture that. Grandma's going like this. What do you think she thinks about Grandpa's jokes? It isn't something she likes if it's not her cup of tea. If it is your cup of tea, then that's something you like. So cup of tea means something you like. But in this case, it is not Grandma's cup of tea. Now you will have to answer those 3 that I highlighted. And if you want to keep going, you can answer 7, 8, and 10. You can ask your parents to help you out if you would like to see if they know these, or look them up on Google and see what they mean. Chew the fat is probably not one that many people use, so that one's kind of an older generation one. Once in a blue moon, maybe you've heard that before, or turn over a new leaf. Once you are finished with these 3 and you have written out everything that I have written out, then you can move on to the next section for Christmas week. I will see you soon.